Welcome to Reddit Reader. Kids born to teen moms, how different is your life compared to other kids? I was born to a teen mom, and a single one at that. I definitely had a lot more freedom and less supervision as a child since both of her parents, my grandparents obviously, passed away soon after I was born, so there weren't many options for babysitters. She worked 2 jobs. I would often be on my own after school until about 8 or 9 at night, sometimes later. She definitely struggled to hold down jobs due to not having an education, and the overall grind would eventually get to her. At one point, she was walking 11 miles a day to and from work because we didn't have a vehicle. Eventually, we lost our home, and we remained in and out of shelters until I was about 12. I learned a lot about the world in those days. At the time, I hated it and was jealous of other kids having normal lives. Now that I'm older, I wouldn't trade it for the world. It gave me every bit of motivation I have. It gave me better social skills. Gotta learn to make friends quick when you move frequently. And most importantly, it taught me to be humble and never view less fortunate people as beneath me. She was diagnosed with cancer when I was 13 and died when I was 15, which sucks, because in my opinion, I grew up to be a good person and a good father. Would love to have her around to see it. I've noticed that I didn't have the same opportunities as other kids because being a teen mom can lead you down a road of struggle and poverty if you don't have any help from family. I've always wanted to play sports, but she could never afford the equipment needed at school to be a part of it. Mentally, I've had to mature faster at a young age because she was still a kid herself. It's unnerving to think teachers would tell me I seemed older than my age at 10 years old. I was born in 1964 when my mother was 16. Grandparents adopted me so I'd have a name. Father's family paid for the hospital bills, and that was it because they didn't want to ruin his chances to go to VMI. Mother had 3 other kids from at least 2 other men and tried to treat me like a little sister, although a girl in 3rd grade decided it was her duty to tell me I didn't really have a daddy. 3-bedroom country farm with 4 kids, grandparents, and mother with her pedo husband was a constant fight, complete with fists and screaming almost daily. At least we could go outside. Lost a brother to a gunshot when stepfather cheated on mother and left gun down while he was leaving. Other brother accidentally shot him. Mother continued to treat me like a sister until she decided she wanted to be a mother. My grandmother was the one who raised me and the one I consider my true mother. When she died, she left me the land with her house on it, and my mother tricked me into signing it over to her. I was very naive. She accused my straight-age gothy kids, in their 30s now, of being on drugs because they wore black, and has held a remark I made about moving away when I was 16 against me to this day. My father sent me $50 when I graduated, and $100 when I got married the first time, and I had no idea he was even my father until I was 23. I would have liked to have had a different childhood. One of my friends has a teen mom. She doesn't talk about it too much, but she says that it's nice how all family members, great-grandparents, are still alive. Mom was 15 when she had me. Honestly, my life sucked. She used to say that she could have given me up for adoption and then decided not to because she realized that I would love her unconditionally no matter what. Our relationship progressed pretty negatively because of that mindset of hers. Every negative thing I did was against what she thought motherhood would be like. I was something she could pick up and put down and leave behind at her leisure. There were a number of times she'd drop me off at a family member's house and disappear. Once I came home from kindergarten and no one was there. Dad was in prison. The next morning my uncle showed up. He had heard my mom left and had a gut feeling he needed to go by my house. There was no food and the heat had been turned off by the utility company. I don't remember much about that time other than the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and the Demolition Man movie. She said she had pretty bad trauma and never processed it properly, so when she got angry due to a trauma reminder, she got really angry. When she was good, boy, she was golden. She could be the most fun of a person you could ask for, but she wasn't a mother. She never held and comforted. She expected hugs and comfort. She was a kid and thought with a kid brain. When we had some spare change, she'd walk me to the ice cream place, and she'd buy herself an ice cream, and we'd go back home. As I got older, our already weird relationship became weirder. She told me she didn't want people to know she was my mom and I could introduce her as my sister. She would tell people that she had 3 children, my siblings, and not claim me because people would do the math. She wanted to be friends with my friends. She wanted to hang around when they were there. What I know about having a teenage mom is this. I loved her with a kind of fanatical worship that messed me up for a long time. She could be funny and cruel at the same time. When she gave you attention, your world would be brighter, but when she was mad at you, the world would be dark. She never grew out of her teenage mindset, and I had to come to grips with that. I can't say that every teenage mom is like mine, but mine was rough. Don't forget to like this video if you liked it, dislike if you disliked it, and subscribe so you don't miss our next upload.